today, the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, John Boadu, has hinted that the compilation of the voters register will come on in June. Well, they were part of the meeting that was held today, and we shall also be looking at how feasible, how possible it is for the register to be compiled in June. But of course, I have in the studio with me the former Deputy Upper West Regional Minister in person of Honorable Khalil Caesar. He is also the Deputy Director of Research for the National Democratic Congress right here in the studio with me. But don't forget to send in your views, comments, and contributions on 02608465390, 02608465390. Sir, good evening and welcome to Hot News once again.
Good evening, Mr. Justice. And let me also use the opportunity to say a very good evening to all our cherished viewers across the country and beyond.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. Now, let's move on to business. The National Democratic Congress yesterday hinted that today they were not going to be part of the IPAC meeting called by the Electoral Commission. What are your reasons?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that it's not only the National Democratic Congress that actually hinted that it will boycott today's IPAC meeting scheduled by the Electoral Commission. Indeed, the IPRAN, the Inter-Party Resistance, against the new voter register,
very well,
also hinted in their press conference yesterday that they were not going to be part of this, today's APAC meeting.
Okay.
And see, the reasons for the NDC is very simple. You see, the intransigent lack of condor and transparency portion of the Electoral Commission is something that is actually not helping matters at all in relation with the EC and the various political parties in the a way towards the voters register in the elections. You see, IPAC is not today. IPAC has been instituted. IPAC has been instituted since 1996.
Okay.
Because of at the time, Afarijan's apprehensions of the fact that at the time, in 1992, the MPP boycotted the parliamentary elections. And as a result, Afarajan at that time felt that if there was no forum created where all the political parties could come, sit down and jaw, so that they would formulate policies to actually advance our electoral course or the laws, they will continue to be saying that they have been cheating, they have been that.
Okay. That
actually brought IPAC, Inter-Party Advisory Committee.
Very well.
And the Inter-Party Advisory Committee is supposed to always intercede, to resolve issues between the EC and the various political parties.
Okay.
The IPAC is not an institution that is always ready to be briefed about what EC is doing. And so since 1996, since Afarijan's time, and coming down to Mrs. Charlotte Osei's time, always the EC has always had consultations with IPAC.
Okay.
Any step they want to take in trying to formulate our electoral laws, in trying to roll out any electoral process. But you see, this time round, J. Mensah and her commission today has made IPAC as if it's just some rubber stamp. It is an institution that do not matter at all in terms of rolling out our electoral process, even to the elections, which is very wrong. And so this invitation, see, they have given us, and you see, unfortunately, since Jemensa and his people took over, they haven't organized proper IPAC meeting. Okay. IPAC meetings are not supposed to be, ad hoc meetings. They are not supposed to be emergency meetings. But throughout all the meetings, they are organizing a lot of emergency meetings, and it's always meant for the for the various political parties just to come and they just tell them that, okay, this is what we want to do, so we want to just inform you. Now, the recent invitation. Okay. Remember, this is the second boycott that we have actually, staged.
Very well.
The first one was when IPAC actually invited the various political parties, only for them to go and they forced on them that, they have acquired new machines, they wanted to test the new machines and all those. Okay. Since when did we discuss all this, even the acquisition of new machines? Since when have we discussed changing, any of these machines or all those kinds of things? We haven't discussed any, issues relating to acquisition of new equipments or machines, changing out of BVDs and all those things. No. Okay. So NDC said no. They walked out because it was not even on the agenda.
Okay.
Now, the recent meeting is in relation to the EC saying that they are just calling all the political parties to brief them, update them on the road towards doing a new voter registration.
Yeah.
And in the first meeting that they invited the NDC, we said that, look, and even the modus operandi used was very, very wrong. That's why the NDC boycotted.
What was the modus operandi used?
What they said was that IPAC is made up of representatives of all the political parties. You understand?
Yeah.
Three members.
Okay.
Each political party will present 3 of its officers, especially the topmost officers. Like for the NDC, for instance, normally IPAC is always represented by sometimes the national chairman, the general secretary, or one of his deputies, the national organizer, and sometimes the electoral director of their party. And it's not for nothing that 3 members are always represented. The reason is that when you go to IPAC, very important issues that need consensus will be discussed.
Okay.
And at the moment, you may be required to take an instantaneous consensus or decision on it. And so if we don't go, if the 3 members are not there, it's only one person. That one person may not be able to, there and there, give a response to whatever decision they want to take.
Okay.
And so in the wisdom of IPAC, they say, look, let's bring 3 topmost representatives of the party. So when it comes to taking a concrete decision there and there, they'll be able to stand on their foot to say, okay, we have agreed or we have not agreed.
Okay.
Now, in the last invitation given to NDC, they said that each political party is supposed to bring 1 person. Listen very carefully. Defying that convention, IPAC has already instituted that 3 members must always represent their parties in the any meeting that EC will call. Now, even with this 1 person represented, they are going because of the COVID-19 restrictions.
Yeah,
they were going to divide them into 2. Some will go in the morning and others will go in the afternoon. They say, IPAC is a forum where political actors, the representative meet, discuss, deliberate on an issue.
Okay.
Then they take a final decision and a consensus is reached. Then they move forward. Now, if we say only one person should come, and we're going to divide the party into 2, now are you saying that when the first group go and they discuss on a particular issue, the second group will come and start the same issue? And you see, normally in every meetings, as you know, when you go to that meeting, you listen to your colleagues. And you see the reasoning of your colleagues.
Is that why the National Democratic Congress has said that if it is done that way, there's the possibility that you may not arrive at a consensus?
Precisely the point I'm driving at. Okay. Precisely the point I'm driving at. Because you need to listen to your colleagues, whether it makes sense or not. Then after that, you yourself will now make your position.
Okay.
Based on maybe Mr. A's, position or what he has espoused. I believe that if we are able to do 1, 2, 3, it will actually come to the perfect thing that we all want. But here is the case. When you listen to some of your colleagues, and you are coming with different set of people, and your discussion may only be so narrow. It may not be extensive like the others.
Why has the National Democratic Congress not considered the times in which we are? That we are not in normal times. And for that reason, we must also consider some of these decisions made by the Electoral Commission, because we are not supposed to gather at a place with a number more than 25. And if it is so, the National Democratic Congress demanding for a spacious place that could accommodate all the representatives from all the political parties, isn't it something that, of course,
you're against the restriction?
That's it.
No, you see, we have even said that there wasn't the need for these kinds of meetings that they are calling. Because if the president, out of his own wisdom, has come out with these restrictions that because of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, there shouldn't be a gathering of no more than 25. But you see, that directive, if we actually go to the particular EI, it is talking about that gathering of not less than 25, not more than 25 people, is for funerals and private burials. It is not cut across. You go and look at
what about conferences?
Yes, no, but I'm saying that that EI has not. In any case, if EC feels that our meeting or the conference that we're going to have is an essential, thing, then EC could easily just, write to the president. Okay, and tell the president that because that we are dealing with a timetable, and if we fail to do some of the things we are supposed to do now, we may be beaten by time. And for that matter, could you give us a waiver so that we can have the meeting, even against the restriction that has been given? So give us a special waiver. And there are so many conference halls, even in the EC's own premises. There's a large conference hall that if they actually wants to hold a proper meeting, that principle of distance and all those kinds of restrictions that they are talking about could be adhered to. But you see, because the Electoral Commission, in fact, in our view, has in fact some hidden agenda we all don't know. Because remember when they were doing their training section, which the National Democratic Congress, led by Jata Sam George, the MP for Ningo Pram Pram.
Very well.
He sent the case even to court.
I'm very much aware.
And the court actually even injuncted that particular himself. And the EC even did not even heed actually to the High Court's directives. They went ahead with the meeting. But the High Court even stated it clearly in their judgment, passing out the decision. The verdict said that particular directive was only for private barriers and funerals. He said it's there. You understand? And so the EC, if not for any malice or any hidden agenda, could easily seek for a waiver from the president's directives to enable every member. And after all, how many were they going to be? How many political parties do we have? From the list I have seen, there are about 12.
Yeah.
Now, if there are 12 multiplied by 3, how many are you going to get? We're going to get 36. You understand?
36 is more than, the number.
And we're saying that we have conference halls that can contain all those people, observing the social distances and all those things, and they can still have their meeting. And I'm saying that the EC's work is an essential commodity. And even drawing the attention of maybe the government or the president, they will give them definitely that waiver.
Having boycotted the IPAC meeting today, whatever it is that has been discussed at the meeting, how are you able to make up for that?
Well, what we are saying is that the EC is actually treading on very, very slippery and dangerous grounds. You see, the EC, as I said from the onset, that the EC don't put any value on the various political parties' consultations and the consensus or whatever it is doing. Because whatever even the EC is doing now, you see, from the start of the year, if the EC actually meant well and wanted to collaborate very well with the various political parties, the EC's agenda or roadmap towards limited registration and towards the elections would have been laid bare and copies given to various political parties. So the political parties would have known that, look, this is our electoral timetable for the year. But you see that even as we speak, the EC has given no single, timetable to any of the political parties. As we speak today, the EC is still even doubting in all the... Look at the reports that came out from the IPAC. The EC is contemplating to do the mass registration by the end of June. The EC is contemplating to do the testing of the machines across the country. Remember, from what I have read from the net, they are saying that it's assumed that all the equipments perhaps they need are in, and maybe it may be going from it will be going under what is himself trying to assemble them. After assembling, by our practice and convention, they need to run the machines across the country. Like what happened in 2012. Now, so that all the problems that may emanate out of that test run will be reported back to the manufacturers, so that they will fix them before a full-blown registration exercise could be, started. But as we speak now, we don't know. The EC hasn't told anybody whether the machines are in or not. The EC has not told anybody.
Isn't it the more reason why the National Democratic Congress should have been part of this meeting to, of course, verify all these questions you're asking?
Oh, I have just told you. we don't think that it is reasonable at all. There's no logic in a meeting that a very major decision is going to be taken. Then you say, I've divided the meeting into two. Have you ever heard this?
But how are you able to tell that the divisions would be unable to bring consensus?
It will not.
Tell me.
It will not. Because, look, if the NDC had been part of this particular meeting, there are pertinent questions or issues that maybe we're going to raise. Okay? Because even with all these processes that they are doing, they have not discussed any single one with us. You haven't discussed it with the political parties. And we're going ahead. Look at the CI they went late in Parliament. Look, hitherto, the practice has been that for a major electoral law to be formulated, okay, and passed by Parliament, it must be discussed by IPAC, the committee of experts, the subcommittee of experts within IPAC will have to dilate on it. They have to discuss it. They have to formulate it and bring it back to the House for endorsement before we now send it to Parliament for it to become law. Very well. But as it stands today, this particular CI, the old CI 91, which is now, if it matures, it will be CI 126. The EC never discussed anything with anybody, and I wasn't surprised when the CI was withdrawn 3 consecutive times. Because there were a lot of errors, and I want to tell you on authority that even the one they have even laid as a stand contains error. There are fundamental errors in them.
There have been other IPAC meetings, so I mean, you were not part of. I mean, there was one IPAC meeting you were not part of. Today is another, IPAC meeting that the National Democratic Congress has boycotted. And so the question then is, if the Electoral Commission should go ahead with the compilation of a new voters register, would the National Democratic Congress take part in this exercise when you have actually, put up a certain stance or position to an extent that you have failed to attend some of the meetings that they've held?
Justice, I think the National Democratic Congress, as well as just like the IPRAN committee, we have made our point clear that we will resist any attempt by the EC to foist any, so-called compilation of a new voters register. Because in our view, we think that it is not necessary. Again, we also think that it is a waste of the taxpayers' money. Because going to spend a whooping sum of about 150 billion Ghana cedis of the taxpayers' money to do a new register, which is needless, which is not reasonable, because we already have about 16-point-something million voters, sitting in the current register, which is biometric, which has no spoiled. There's nothing wrong with that biometric register. So we think that it's a needless exercise. You understand? And we're also saying that, look, you see, we're in a very, as they themselves have been saying, we're in an abnormal period where this COVID-19 pandemic, look at what is happening to our case, recordings. The numbers are escalating. And today, yesterday I saw the concerned disability, group in Ghana. They have issued a statement, and they are saying that it is very dangerous for EC to go ahead with this new register, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic, war that we are all waging. And so we think that they should not endanger the lives of Ghanaians. Apart from that, remember, when we are doing any new register, it is not just about, you see, people always assume that, if it's going to be a new register, everybody is going to register just by his or her doorstep. Me sitting here, I have to travel far away to, Fielmobu, my police station. And many Ghanaians have to cross, they have to traverse, the breadth and length of this country.
Very well.
Now, when that happens, it is going to even endanger Ghanaians the more, especially spreading this COVID-19, virus. Because people are going to board cars, you see cars moving to and fro, you see people loading people from one point to another. So all these things are things that we think that is very dangerous to embark on this, adventure. Again, we also think that it is it's waste of money of the individual, because look, if I'm supposed to travel from here to Ewa and to my village, I am going to bear the cost. Okay? Now, apart from that, apart from the individual spending their own resources in going to whichever police station that they are going to register, it is also going to bring a huge cost to the various political parties. Look, I can assure you that if we are doing this registration, if we are going to actually embark on that, in fact, very dangerous and very wicked adventure that the EC wants us to go on, it will cost each political party no less than 10 million Ghana cedis. Okay, each political party, because the political party will have to ensure that all its members go. We have to train agents. You have to train party agents. You have to pay party agents throughout the period exhibition. You have to pay them. You have to also ensure that your members, are being encouraged. You have to get prompters. I mean, there are a whole lot of things. So it is not so. Unlike the Ghana card registration, where political parties were not involved. Okay, it was not partisan. This one, it is partisan. So every political party has a responsibility. And so the EC is so wicked, they want to plunge this country into a different thing altogether. When I'm saying it, they think that we are beating war drums.
I am finding it extremely difficult to understand the National Democratic Congress. What would it cause? What's the problem? Why is it a problem for the Electoral Commission to have divided the parties into two, attending the IPAC meeting? You keep saying that there wouldn't be a consensus, but is that supposed to be a problem?
I'm saying that there's a huge problem. Look, if we are, let's say that if we are 10 people supposed to attend a meeting, and the meeting is supposed to elicit the best, practice or the best understanding of consensus within the discussions that we're going to hold. Okay? Now you decide that, okay, 5 should hold the meeting first, another 5 should hold the meeting. Look, when that 5 hold that meeting, it will be different from the other 5 that will hold. Okay. And I've told you that, you see, in a meeting of, so many people, what you do is that you sometimes make your point relying on somebody's earlier, position made. And based on that, you may agree or disagree with the person and now formulate yours. Okay. Now, if you don't have that kind of, situation, you may also come out with your position. Okay. That is quite different from what this person has made. So at the end of the day, minds may not meet. And so the backtrack and the logic that we have, all over the world. Me, I've never heard that all over the world meetings have been held, the same meeting. That is supposed to come out, elicit one common understanding. It's being held by 2 groups. No, they don't do that. And remember, this is not just an ordinary meeting. It's a meeting about the destiny of this country, the forward move of our democracy. It's about politics. It's about the 2020 elections. And there's so much premium placed on this particular election that we're going to hold. So you cannot just rubber stamp everybody and just take everybody for granted and think that you are the referee and you can do anything and favor any other person. We will not agree that. We will continue to resist them. And you see, what we are saying, they think that it is just an empty threat. It is just some war drum that we are beating. No, we are speaking on behalf of the people. Because look, Ghana Web actually carried out an opinion poll.
Very well.
Asking voters, prospective voters that, look, should the Electoral Commission go ahead to do the mass registration, do you subscribe that we should do a new register or not? About 86% of the respondents of Ghanaians say no. There's no need for doing any registration. Why? They should just be modest with Ghanaians. Nanadu and his people should just be very honest and sincere with Ghanaians. If they are saying that a new register is not anything that they bother about, they should allow the old register to stay. Because this is a very register which we used in 2016 to vote Nanado in as a president. And they claim even that particular vote that Nanado had was unprecedented. About 1 million votes extra that they had. So what has changed? What are they afraid of again? That same register, this same register has been used to create new, 6 regions. This same register is the one we use in electing about 30,000, unit committee members across the country.
Okay.
The same register has been used to elect about 6,000 plus. This, MMDC, municipal and what is themselves? This assembly members.
Okay.
So if it is something that they think, if they actually mean well with Ghanaians,
okay,
I don't think that anything will press these people, electoral commissioner and the MPP, to think that we need a new voters register. I told you the other day that, you see, the people are afraid of their own shadows. They know what is there. And so that's why you see them chasing their own shadows. Because if not, in fact, if I were an Anado, I would say that the register that has given me 1 million votes over my opponent should be the register that I should use.
Isn't it because of your position on the compilation of a new voters register that you are not in support of the compilation that has resulted in your decision not to attend the IPAC meeting today? As a matter of fact, people are of the view that the reasons you've given for not attending couldn't have been enough reasons for you to have boycotted the IPAC meeting today. It's because of your stance. It's because of your position on the issue of compilation and new voters register that you are not in support of it, and no new voter register should be compiled in this country. How would you react to that?
You see, the Electoral Commission cannot take the NDC for granted.
How are they taking the National Democratic Congress?
Yeah, I'm coming. They cannot take us as their case. They are taking us for granted. I have told you the position or the modus operandi of IPAC. IPAC is not just a place you go for Electoral Commission, easy to come and just inform you about what they are doing. It's not a place for them to just come and say, look, whether you like it or yes. We are prepared with we have done enormous preparation towards the registration of the new voters register. It's not a place like that. IPAC is a place for dialogue. It's a place for consultation. But it's a place where all the political actors will bring their representatives to digest whatever is on the table and arrive at a consensus that will be time tested.
But you earlier said that, let's look at your reasons briefly. You earlier said that, well, you may not reach consensus should, the political parties...
Yeah, we are saying that it's improper for them to divide the number into two.
Number two, you've also said that the restrictions by government, of course, the less than 25 people gathering at a place, isn't one that is, that can be applied to the Electoral Commission, because those ones were applied to, or of course they are referring to funerals, conferences and all of that. How would you, really term or classify an IPAC meeting? Is it a conference? Is it a meeting? And a meeting of more than 25 people, how do you consider that? If you are saying that they should have gotten a spacious place enough to accommodate everybody, I mean, isn't that still flouting the rules and regulations or the restrictions, of course, imposed on the good people of Ghana to ensure the spread of COVID-19?
You see, it's just because I have told you that the government, and for that matter, the EC, are all not being sincere and honest with the facts and the truth.
What are the facts and the truths?
The fact and the truth is that the government itself is aware that the EC is actually time constrained in respect of their activities. And the president himself knows that EC works with a timetable.
Okay.
And when that time elapses, there may not be an opportunity again for any extension of time. And so the president could have just easily said that, yes, we've instituted these measures for restrictions, but we can give a waiver to EC.
Okay.
Okay? So that EC will have an ample time, not organizing perhaps nationwide or so much gathering in rolling out its activities, but with the IPAC. Because you see, IPAC has become part of EC. Okay, indirectly.
So are you saying on authority?
So I'm saying that
if the EC had listened to what you've been saying,
yes,
and went ahead to, of course, secure a spacious place enough to accommodate the numbers, the National Democratic Congress would have attended
the
IPAC meeting today.
So maybe we would have attended.
Maybe you would have attended.
No, and I'm saying that, you see, again, we also, one of our concerns was that you cannot rubber stamp IPAC and think that we are just kiss.
How is the Electoral Commission rubber stamping IPAC?
You look at the agenda they gave. That to report, update IPAC on the preparation towards the new voter registration. And the reason why we disagree with that kind of agenda is that you have not even discussed with IPAC anything concerning about the new voter registration. We haven't done anything.
What's the role of the IPAC? I've been asking this question since yesterday. Is IPAC supposed to advise the EC?
Yes.
On some of the things.
That's why they say Inter-Party Advisory Committee.
But we should also understand that you can offer an advice, but the Electoral Commission will decide to take those advices or not. Isn't it the case?
You see, the wisdom of Afarijan at the time, okay? Because they don't want, after maybe registration, a particular political party will come out to allege that this particular thing EC has done. They are not in the know. They are not aware of any machines that are coming into place. And because of that, perhaps it's a collaboration between the government and maybe EC. Because of all those kind of unforeseen circumstances and rejection of maybe whatever decision that may come. Okay. Look, they are saying that, look, let's set up a committee. And that committee will advise us on our journey towards any of the electoral activity. For instance, registration. Coming out with a voters register, and again having an elections. Now, if all the political parties are part and parcel of every step that you take, there wouldn't be any ambiguity, there wouldn't be any debate, there wouldn't be any rejection of whatever outcome or verdict that comes out.
Is Jane Mensah-led Electoral Commission not doing so by engaging all political parties at every step of the way on what they are doing, decisions they are taking, and then, of course, asking for advices from the IPAC? Are they not doing so?
The Mensah-led commission has been very intransigent. They have been very impervious. To the extent that Jane Mensah thinks that, but you didn't hear of that infamous comment made by her. That? In one of the IPAC's meeting, when General Mosquito, Johnson Ketia, the NDC General Secretary of the just made a smile, or let me, for better, laughed. Jane Mensah queried why Esiedin Ketia should laugh. Okay. She sees Esiedin Ketia, the General Secretary of the NDC, as maybe some small boy who ought not to even smile or crack a joke or something of that sort in a meeting. You see, Mrs. Jane Mensah came to that seat with no understanding about the electoral process. She has no clue at all how elections are done, how the processes go through with all the political actors and arrive at an election conclusion. But she has no clue.
We've had series of IPAC meetings that were held. What would you call those ones if you say that Jane Mensah-led Electoral Commission has not involved the political parties in every step of the way on what they are doing and decisions they are taking?
Yeah, let me tell you, since Afarijan's period, the MPP has always complained. Since Afarijan's era. Okay. Every election year, they will either complain that, especially in respect to the electoral register. And remember, it was because of those numerous complaints that in 2004, a register had to be compiled. Then again in 2012, when they kept on complaining about the register, in 2012, they said to curtail all those kinds of rumor mongering and complaints about the register. Okay. They formed a committee. Okay? And that committee of experts actually came out with a roadmap to get a time-tested register. Very well. And that actually gave birth to this current biometric register that we have. And it was actually stated in that particular document as a convention that, look, once we have been able to come up with this voters register, henceforth, there's not going to be any revision of a voters register. Okay. But even when you look at Article 40, Article 45A, of the Constitution, yes, the EC is given the mandate to compile voters register. But it is that's why it is in court that we want to seek a clear declaration, okay, of what Article 45 says, that EC can compile the voters register once and revise it subsequently.
Okay.
And if you take Article 52 and Article 42 in conjunction, they are saying that, look, when you are compiling a new voters register, you must bear in mind about the rights, you must respect the right of the voter.
Okay.
To the extent that you cannot say that the voter's ID card, which has always been used from previous, elections, as one of the major, identification requirement for somebody to register, you say that you cannot use it again. Okay. And so, J. Mensah and the commission, they have come to bastardize the time-tested conversion or practice of IPAC right from 1996 till today as we speak. That's why we are saying that, look, the current voters register, if they actually understood very well why the current voters register was actually giving birth to, they will not even make an attempt. And you see, J. Mensah, on several fora, has made it clear that he was not going to change, the old register. She has said it on several fora. When she met, in January 20th, when she 30th January, when she met the eminent advisory committee, she herself actually, instituted. When she met them, she told them point blank that she's not going to the current voters ID card will be one of the prima facie document that will be used as a proof of identification for prospective voters to register. Today you are telling us that that cannot be, because you are going to lay a CI 126 that has clearly eliminated that particular document, which is even in violation of the Supreme Court's declaration in Abu Ramadan versus EC case, where the Supreme Court, declared clearly, equivocally, they declared it clearly that the current voters ID is the best prima facie document. Okay? That qualifies any prospective voter, as one of the eligibility criteria to register. Today, J. Mensah says that no, the voters register, the current voters ID card cannot be used as a source document. So these are the issues that we are talking about. The NDC is not just, we're not just talking for talking sake, but we are saying that, look, where the current EC commissioner and the other commissioners are taking Ghana into is very slippery. Because we have had a time-tested modus operandi in coming out with our laws regulating the registration, which is the old CI 91, and the current law that regulates our elections, that's the current CI 94. And it is CI 91, which normally is always, if not because these people have come out to say that they are going to change the current register, it would have stayed. But because they want to change it, that's why they have amended it. They have gone there with the amendment to Parliament, which did not receive the consensus building of IPAC.
All right, I'll come back to you. Let me take a few of our messages. I'll come back to you for us to continue. This one says, I'm Mustafa from T Poly in Tamale. The new register is coming live. NDC and their sympathizers can go and bend the sea. It's a back case. My regards to Chairman Pre-Finance for the wonderful work he's doing in the northern region. Thank you so much for your message. This one says, in the heat of the coronavirus, the NDC organized more than 3 different press conferences here in Ghana, despite the restrictions. Per the logic and the sweet words put together by the NDC, I put it to them that their high tables alone during their press conferences defied the social distancing protocols given by the president. If they so respect the president's directives and adhering to COVID-19 protocols, as claimed, the NDC, why would they organize a press conference? Al-Haji, busy man, sent in that one. This one says, good evening, Jay. Please, if you haven't participated in an earlier decision, why must you be invited and reported to? If EC took a sole decision of compiling a new register without IPAC, why is IPAC being invited for updates? Let's be serious in this country, Steve. in Damango sent in that one. Drop the new voters register now. Baby Knee from Mamprobi sent in that one. Baby Knee, Baby Knee, thank you so much. I'm Richmond, watching you live from the Birmingham, UK. I want to thank my boss, Honorable Khalid Caesar, for a very good job done. The registration exercise is a calculated attempt to redefine citizenship and must be resisted by all. Thank you so much for sending in that one from Birmingham, in the United Kingdom. Thank you so much. We're so grateful. This one says, good evening, Pan-African TV. Please, can the NDC answer the following questions for Ghanaians? What at all does the NDC fear in the new voters register? When did a new voter register become a nuclear weapon in Ghana? Why is it that political parties in opposition try to find faults with everything that EC does? Whatever you sow in opposition, you will reap in government, and vice versa. Or are they executing are they executing what was in the leaked tape involving their chairman, Uncle Ben? Sent in that one. Uncle Ben, thank you so much for your message. This one says, the only way for the MPP to win 2020 election is to cheat, and that is what they are trying to do. EC should remember that we have only one Ghana, so Madam Jane Mensah should listen to the stakeholders, but not to do anything which will keep this country unfit. Thank you so much for your message. I have a lot more messages coming in. This one says the path the EC is going is very dangerous. Jane Mensah and Christian Council, you would be held responsible if anything happens to this country. You've sent in that one from the Volta region. Let me come back and then we discuss this. Now, the Electoral Commission, I think at the IPAC meeting, as you earlier intimated, they are saying that they are contemplating on starting the compilation of new voters register in June. The National Democratic Congress has not been part of this meeting. There was another meeting they were not part of. Looking at the decisions that are coming up from the IPAC meeting, what's the position of the National Democratic Congress on that?
Yeah, see, I've told you already that our position is very simple. Our position is that the National Democratic Congress, we believe in due process of law. We believe in rule of law. And we are saying that laws that we have made, for ourselves, we must subject those laws, okay, for them to regulate us properly. So we'll continue to have our peace that we're enjoying.
Honorable, that's the position of the National Democratic Congress. What I'm saying is that your position would not stop the Electoral Commission from compiling a new voters register.
Oh.
You have absented yourself from the IPAC meeting. You boycotted it.
Yeah.
If it so happens that the Electoral Commission is kick-starting with the compilation of a new voters register, what will be the reaction of the National Democratic Congress?
I'm saying that our belief is that they can't even do the registration.
Why do you believe so? Because they are contemplating on it.
Let me give you a critical example. Even if we actually peruse critically the CI that they have laid in Parliament, okay, the very reason why the EC actually touted and said that because of that they will have to do a new register, okay, they said that they were going to include facial recognition. Go and read what is laid in Parliament, whether that aspect of it is in it.
Okay.
It's nowhere. So even currently as we speak, the current, what is it, a CR that is late, if it's mature to become 126, is very, very defective. And I'm telling you that even outside that, okay, the timetable that they have given, it is not something that they can easily do it. Do you know what they want to do? You know the MPP believe in that thing. Look, throughout the inception of MPP, all the things that they said they will do for Ghanaians, they will do what we call whitewash. Whitewash fulfilling of promises.
Okay.
Because they said that when they come, they are going to they are going to dig, dams for every village in the running sector. Okay. And what they've succeeded in doing is that they've gone there to just dig some few dugouts or ponds and they term them as fulfilling that particular promise.
Okay.
They said that they are going to build industries or factories for every district in this country. Now, after building 1 or 2, and hijacking some people's already built factories, they are saying they have fulfilled that promise. They said that every year, right from the first year that they came, they will give every constituency $1 million. Now, since they came, they have only, according to what I know, it's only this year that they are going to give the district assemblies the 1 million.
Okay.
And they are saying that they have fulfilled that promise. So you see that these are a bunch of people who are just liars, and they want to do semblance of things. So as we are talking now, if they say that they are going to do what is himself the registration, okay. If granted that the NCC even accept that we'll go and do the mass registration, the very problems that we envisage that will come will definitely happen, because
what are the problems you have envisaged?
The problem we have envisaged, we have already stated that it's not necessary. We don't support it. But should I even go ahead to do it? One of the major problems that is going to happen, one, is people getting the opportunity to register. Simply because many people don't have the citizen's ID card they are relying heavily on. Many people don't have this passport that they are relying heavily on. So over 10 million Ghanaians are going to be disenfranchised. How can 10 million Ghanaians go to the registration centers for people to identify them and vote for them? Voting for somebody is not easy. And Massa, let's take it that if I come and you vote for me, you have registered. By our constitution, okay, or by the electoral laws, when you register, is the voter ID card that they have given you, is it provisional? Your name in the register is it provisional until it is gazetted. Your card that they have given you, and your register being your name being in the register, it is not valid yet. Okay. Until all the processes have been exhausted and gazetted, then it is now clear that, oh, actually you are a registered voter. Okay. Now you are the same person going to vote for somebody. What if in the course of the time somebody challenge your eligibility as a voter? Now it means that if I vote for 10 people, all of them, it's not valid. So it's a complicated issue. And why do you want to say that the majority of Ghanaians, okay, who will be getting the opportunity to register, should go through that vouching system, which in our belief is not sustainable at all, and it's very dangerous? Because look, if we go to bring anybody, and I said it here the other time, especially where migrants are many, it can come that even the MPP, because all these are part of their plans, okay, to disenfranchise Ghanaians, okay, they decide to tell their people that, look, if you don't know any migrant, don't vote for the migrant. Or even if you know, challenge, especially if the person is from the northern extraction or is from any of the NDC strongholds, like he's a Voltarian. We know all these antics. We know all these antics that the people have actually prepared down. So it's not just a simple thing that NDC is actually opposed to the new register. There are a lot of factors that we can raise why we think that, preparing a new register is a disaster. And I told you here the other time that, look, may God forbid that new register is compiled. Then you intentionally disenfranchise about 10 million Ghanaians on the election day. On the election day, many of the electoral officers cannot step foot at the police stations because many of the angry youth, many of the angry voters who were not given the opportunity, who were denied deliberately by EC not to register, will disrupt the electoral process. And they shouldn't think that, they can convince people in their strongholds, like Ashanti and Eastern, that, no electoral process will be disrupted. They don't know what is happening. They don't know exactly the anger of the various, prospective voters. Because, everybody says that, me, I have already registered, and I have my voter ID card, which I've been using to vote. And every election year, if there's going to be a registration to be done, and it's even a new registration, at least all voter ID card is always a prima facie document for you to use to register. Okay. Now you are saying that I cannot use it. then you deny me of my right to register. Election day, come and conduct your exercise and we see. So these are the apprehensions of the people. It is not NDC beating war drums, trying to say that, oh, Electoral Commission, if we do this, we will do this. We will not do it. But the anger of the people will manifest on that day. The anger of the people will show. So we are sending that warning signal. And we will sit down to allow that particular event to come and pass. Because we will be blamed. We are the alternative government in the system. And we must check the government, we must check the EC. And now there's a tripartite collusion between EC, between NIA, between the government.
But they've all responded adequately. They've appropriately responded to allegations leveled against.
No, many of their responses actually confirmed our apprehensions.
Okay.
Because if the NIA now is saying that in the coming weeks they are going to do a mop-up exercise nationwide, what does it tell you? What we have actually told the general public is not true. It's true. If it's not true, why should they go to do any mop-up? EC, you have consistently said that the voters register is credible. Under no circumstances are you going to, avoid using the current voter ID card as a source document during registration. Today you are saying that they cannot be.
What has the National Congress achieved by boycotting some of these IPAC meetings? Have you achieved something?
Oh, we have achieved something because
what have you achieved?
We don't want them to use our hands to clear garbage. We don't want them to use our hand to clear garbage because if you go, it means that you are going to endorse the illegality that they have perpetrated. Because all the programs that they have rolled out, in connection with the registration or whatever it is, they have not consulted anybody.
Isn't it also possible that you can go and point out the illegalities to the Electoral Commission?
They are impervious. They are not prepared for divergent views. And you see, just like...
Are you saying that the Electoral Commission has been autocratic?
Very, very autocratic. Very, 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 very indisciplined and autocratic. Intransigent. And we will not sit down or, take part in that kind of meeting for them to use our hands to clear their mess. No, we won't do that. We are a principal party, just like the other political party. And you see, this whole fight, and I think it's not about the National Democratic Congress.
Okay.
Civil society groups, comprising no less than 20 civil society groups in the whole country. We have the religious leaders. Today I've heard Ajin Nasare, very respected religious leader, also talking about it, saying that, look, the Electoral Commission must listen to what the other opposing views are also saying. I've heard of other traditional rulers. I've heard of, Imani and all other people are talking. IDEC, CDD have all joined the phrase, saying that, look, please, and you see, even people from their own party, people who we believe belong to the MPP, are talking about the fact that, look, in our commission, use a credible existing voter register and just do, because the statistical service has provided that about 600,000 plus Ghanaians, youth who have attained the age of 18 years plus, are the people that can, register this year, in addition to the old, existing voters to vote. Now, if they have actually allowed reason, intelligence, modesty to prevail, the only thing for the Electoral Commission to do is that we are going to do a nationwide limited registration. And the limited registration can easily be regulated. The limited registration will not be that laborious. People will not fight. The likelihood of people fighting, especially the various political parties fighting at registration centers, will be very, very minimal. Now you are rolling out a mass registration. Do you know the confusion it's going to cause?
But it is clear that...
And you see, the premium, I've told you that the premium placed on this election is so high.
We have just 5 minutes to go, but it is clear that the Electoral Commission is bent on compiling a new voters register, irrespective or regardless of what the civil society organizations, the IPRAN, and other persons are saying. They want to compile a new voters register.
Yes.
Would the NDC participate in the registration exercise?
When we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. we are saying that the MDC will continue to manifest that EC is embarking on a very, very useless, very unreasonable, inhumane activity that is likely to plunge this country into chaos, into crisis. And we have given the various dimensions. From the angle of the pandemic issues, okay? The COVID-19 pandemic, health issues. Yeah. From the angle of technicalities, we told you that they are going to disenfranchise about 10 million Ghanaians. Okay. From the angle of our economic, line, because we are saying that already Ghana's, monetary issue is very, very poor. And that was why the president had to rush to IMF. When we just entered COVID-19 just in a few weeks, they could not sustain the economy. They have to go and borrow money, but for the magnanimity and also the generosity of Ghanaians who are doling out money to the government, but now the whole country will be in shambles. So from all this point of view, we are saying that you cannot say that at least all these who are talking out there have no sense. It is you, Jane Mensah alone, and your commissioners who have the sense. Okay. And even in doing this, they have failed to even consult people who have ever blazed the trail as far as elections, are concerned in this country. People like Afarijan and co. Now, so you are just doing anything that you want. And that's why, in our view, we see that the people are dragging this country into a disaster. All right. And for which I think that posterity will never, ever forgive any of them. Okay. Because Ghana, we have been described, variously by the international community as a beacon of democracy. Very well. And that democracy was not just achieved one day. Okay. We have gone through a system. We started the 1992, Constitution and the Fourth Republic. Okay. And we have carried out, we have built up to a point, a pedestal that we should have been adding on. These people want to just retrogress us. Okay. They want to send us back to the abyss. And that's why we are calling on Ghanaians that we should not accept. The EC can go ahead with any of this, their evil plans. We are going to resist it. And you see, they should not think.
We should be wrapping up. You can wrap up for me.
Yes. So what I want to say is that the NDC is still opposed to this useless adventure, unreasonable adventure that EC wants to embark on. We are calling on civil society groups, and we are, look, made the call the other day, people should speak out. All right. People should speak out, because there's an adage in a tree that when they are shaving you, you don't speak out, you'll be given a very bad cut. Very well. And that's what this country is being dragged, towards. If we don't speak out, EC will give us a very bad cut. That will spell our doom.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable, for your submission, and thank you so much for coming. That was Honorable who happens to be the former Upper West Minister, also the Deputy Director of Research for the National Democratic Congress. He was a presidential staffer during former President John Dramani Mahama's era. Let me take a few of our messages and then I go. This one says, good evening, Justice. Kudos to the objectivity. Please don't you think that Ghana needs Dr. Farijan to bring his experience to bear on this issue of need of new electoral register, given that the current commissioner has no experience? If birth certificates can be used to obtain Ghana card, which Ghana card is a requirement to obtain voter ID card, but the birth certificate itself cannot be used to obtain the voter's ID card. This is weird. It is not logical. If A equals B and B equals C, it simply implies, please stop calling the WhatsApp line, I'm sorry, implied that B is equal to C. The election thing must be looked at critically by the Electoral Commission. Pluto, Afajato, South. Well, this is our time allows on the program. Make a time with us, same time tomorrow. My name is Justice Appiah. The show has been hot. Please. Goodbye.
Today, we can't trust sources of water anymore. Confidence is gone due to human activities. Same human activities introduces